What if I told you that the single biggest mistake you might be making with your table tennis game has nothing to do with your forehand, your backhand, or even your serve? It's your breath. It stinks. No, you're breathing wrong, and it might be costing you critical points and even entire matches. So today I'm going to show you 4 powerful ways you can optimize your breathing for better performance. But before I do, all the best breathing tricks in the world aren't going to do a bit of good if you don't have a good routine that you're following. So make sure you check out my free table tennis specific workout routine linked in the description. Now let's dive in. First, let's talk about pressure. Most of us start breathing shallow way up in our chest when the game gets tight. It's 9-9 deep into the match. That's the opposite of what you want to do. You want to be taking deep belly breaths. This will help activate your parasympathetic nervous system and really tone down your emotional and psychological state to get you calm. It's like a reset button for you. And one thing that most people don't realize is your nasal cavity is actually longer horizontally this way than it is vertically. So you want to think about breathing back. Your belly should be filling with air. If you put a hand on your chest and a hand on your belly, you should feel your belly expanding and your chest remaining relatively stable. Now, before games and before matches or in between games, I like 2 methods for belly breathing that work really well to get you psychologically ready. The first is box breathing. And for box breathing, you're going to inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4. Another method I really like is the 4-7-8 method. 4-7-8 is inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 7 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. Both of these are really great for inducing a rapid change of state in terms of your psychological profile and making you calm and ready and in the moment. Now, in between points, you're not going to have time for that. So just a couple belly breaths should be a part of your pre-performance routine, and it should be something that you pay attention to and ingrain within your natural rhythm of your matches. All right, now let's talk about something that you hear all the time. Ever notice how some pros grunt when they hit the ball? Dima, I'm looking at you. All right, well, you might not like it, but it's not just for show. There's some real science here. Studies in sports like tennis and martial arts have shown that vocalizing or grunting when you strike can actually increase your power and force a little bit, and it may even help with your psychological state as well. And one of the best tips I heard from a coach, I think it was Craig Bryant actually, is that it can help prevent you from inadvertently holding your breath during a rally. A lot of us do this without even realizing it when things get tight. So a little grunt or a little exhale really helps to prevent you from holding your breath accidentally when you don't mean to. Now, don't be obnoxious with it, okay? The rules clearly state you can't intentionally distract your opponent, and the umpire does have some discretion to call you out on it if you get too crazy. But try making a small noise of some kind when you hit the ball, and you might find that you hit a little more power. Plus, there's a side benefit of it might slightly disguise the sound of you hitting the ball. Just like when someone stomps when they serve, it masks the sound a little bit. So there's a bit of a disruption for your opponent as well there. Again, don't get out of hand with it, but something to consider. Let's say the rally's over and you're totally wiped out and you really need to recover and you're just out of breath a lot. How should you recover? Well, if you're anything like me, you would stand up with your hands on your head like this and stay up straight because that's what your old gym teacher told you to do when you were a kid. And as it turns out, that's not correct. It's better to lean forward with your hands on your knees because that's going to be a more efficient position for your diaphragm. And they've done studies and compared the 2 positions, and the leaning forward position actually resulted in 10 to 20% more oxygen uptake. So if you're really out of breath, let's say you just did a multi-ball drill, or you did some conditioning in the gym, you can lean over, hands on knees, and really breathe deeply, and that's going to result in better recovery for you. Speaking of the gym, if you're doing a heavy compound movement, especially something like a squat, a deadlift, or an overhead press, you don't want to be holding your breath randomly during your lift. Instead, you want to be using something called the Valsalva Maneuver. Now, this is a technique that powerlifters use, but as an athlete training in the gym for performance, you should be using it as well. So what you want to do is, let's say it's a squat. At the top of the lift, you take a deep belly breath, fill up that belly with air, and then brace your core as if someone was about to punch you in the stomach. You want to hold that position as you descend and up through the hardest point of the lift, past that sticking point. Once you've made it past the sticking point, you exhale forcefully, and that's going to do a lot to create a ton of rigidity around your spine and really protect you as you lift in a way that's going to make it a lot more safe, but it'll also improve your performance a bit as well. So let's recap. Remember, your breath isn't just a bunch of hot air. It's your reset button for staying calm, a power button for explosive shots, a recovery button for bouncing back between points, and your safety switch in the gym. So start paying attention to it. It could be the single biggest thing you do to quickly improve your game. So if you learned something new today, please like and subscribe for more content. And don't forget to grab that free workout routine linked in the description. And until next time, remember, the spin will be with you, always.